Dicapo is a unique opera-going experience in the United States, where you can come to an intimate theater and see full-scale productions with full-scale voices, yet feel that you are truly a part of it.
The biggest advantage is that you're practically on the stage yourself. You see every expression, you feel every emotion.
One night, Licia Albanese was sitting in the front row. She said to the audience, "This is what you should see at the Met, and you don't."
It's amazing, but true, that 30 years ago, Michael Capasso walked into the Long Island Playhouse and convinced them to pay him $8,500 to produce 2 performances of Tosca.
I was 21 years old. I put everybody I knew into the performance. I even had my mother on stage in the Te Deum procession.
Throughout the 1980s, Michael ran a successful construction company during the day and willed Dicapo into existence in the night. Dicapo performed wherever they could, in churches, schools, old vaudeville houses.
Throughout our entire time, Diane had always been developing a children's chorus. One of the members was a young girl named Karen Greenhut.
Her mother was on the board at Saint Jean-Baptiste. She said, "Well, why don't you talk to our priest and see if he would allow you to use our church for a concert?"
Dicapo's history was about to change forever.
Part of my fantasy becoming the pastor of this church was seeing really great music in the church. Then when Michael came and that whole idea of bringing an opera company surfaced, that really got me excited because I could see a resident operatic company being here and the wonderful things that could be done.
The cast and musicians needed a place to change, so Michael was shown the former Lower Church, 20,000 square feet of unused space at the corner of 76th Street and Lexington Avenue.
I know it sounds corny, but when I walked in, I literally saw the theater before my eyes. I called in every favor I could from the construction business. I got steel, concrete, lumber, everything donated. I dug the orchestra pit myself with a small backhoe and ran the crane in the street to load material in and out.
That was 1995, and Dicapo Theatre is now one of the jewels of New York's cultural crown. They have brought grand opera in an intense, intimate setting to the east side of Manhattan. They have been called the Mini Met by New York Magazine and the city's third opera company by The New Yorker.
Dicapo presents impassioned, intimate performances of the great works of the standard repertory and also new works, American operas, and world premieres. Within the past 3 years, Dicapo presented in New York and on tour in Europe The Crucible of Robert Ward, Emmeline of Tobias Picker, and my own opera, The Seagull.
I also would like to see the grand tradition of Italian opera continue. We are the first American company since the Metropolitan commissioned La Fanciulla del West from Puccini to commission an Italian opera.
Another area where Dicapo shines is in the development of young singers. Every year, new voices emerge out of Dicapo's resident artist program. The chance for a young singer to gain experience in front of a New York audience is invaluable.
I started at Dicapo as a resident artist in the chorus, and in that first season I was offered a cover opportunity for the role of Mimi in La Bohème. And it just changed my life entirely. I went to singing in houses in South America, in Europe, to singing a live broadcast in Europe. Somebody says, what does it take to build a career? You need somebody who's willing to take a risk on you. And that is something that Michael has done with countless artists. And from there, the careers have grown.
Perhaps Dicapo's most extraordinary contribution is the fact that they are the only opera company in history to have performed the complete works of Puccini.
They were presented inventively, well cast, beautifully staged, traditionally staged, in productions that the public could understand exactly what Puccini was trying to accomplish with his works. I also thought it was really very telling that Dicapo was the only company in the US to celebrate the Puccini anniversary a few years ago and so successfully present this gala concert at the Rose Theatre at Lincoln Center. It was one of the highlights, I think, operatically of that season.
30 years of excellence, 30 years of thrills, 30 years of defying the odds. Dicapo Opera Theatre has survived and thrived. The next 30 years begin tonight. Welcome.